Greetings and welcome, my friends. We're doing the intro a little bit different than usual. This is us putting together the thing, a Planeswalker deck using the powerful Ugin. To help us combo off, we're going to play Quintorius. Her ability to drain the opponent for 2 will combine with Ugin's ultimate ability to end the game on the spot. The latest Chandra also works well with Ugin, as her ultimate will hit any target for 3 damage when we have an artifact enter play. There are other planeswalkers we could employ, but we really only need the 2 we've selected already. Next up is the powerful Ugin. His ultimate will let exile any amount of colorless cards right out of our deck, then we can play them for free. Artifacts being played from exile will trigger Quintorius. When they enter, they will trigger Chandra. To make it work, we'll need a Chandra ultimate, but we only need to have Quintorius in play. To make getting to their ultimates, we'll need a touch of green for an enchantment. But first, let's pick up Buried in the Garden. It's both a touch of removal as well as ramp to help power out our pricey cards. The other enchantment we want is one we've used recently in a synthesizer deck. That's right, Doubling Season. With it in play, our planeswalkers will enter with double their starting loyalty, enough to be able to fire off their ultimates right away. Playing 3 colors is rather tricky. We'll need something to help fix our colors, and Case of the Shattered Pact could be a great card in this deck. It costs only 2, so it can bail us out of any shuffler specials, and it is colorless, so it could work with Yugin's ability. Let's just check to make sure it's a card that will be part of the combo. There's nothing that says the colorless cards can't be enchantments, so it's a go. We'll add 4 copies, then check out other potential artifacts. The treasure map is one that can help us find cards we want. Plus, it generates 3 treasures when we've used it to scry 3 times, then turns into a land that can help us draw cards. It's ramp and card draw in one little artifact. Next up, we'll want Monument to Endurance. With Chandra, we'll be discarding cards to raise her loyalty if we need to get to her ultimate the old-fashioned way. And the Monument can turn cards we discard into more cards, or even damage to the opponent or treasures to help us play out more cards. Some more card draw would be fine, but the Scrawling Crawler might not be what we want. Realm Breaker would be a possibility if not for the fact that it's legendary. We'll want to stay away from legendary colorless spells, as we've got enough legends in the deck as it is. Mana artifacts could be something we might be able to use. They ramp and fix our colors, but let's keep looking. We might run across something that would work well. The Solemn Simulacrum is an excellent choice, as it gets us a land when it enters, and we can use it to block. When it dies, we draw a card. That will be the deck for now while I think about the final card slot. We've got room for 1 more card, and I've got something in mind already. Let's fix up our lands. We want to be able to hit our colors reliably if we don't draw any of our color-fixing cases. Half our lands will be basics, so we have plenty to fetch out with both the case as well as the simulacrum. Not including Ugin, we've got a total of 16 colorless cards that will equal 32 points of drain with Quintorius, or 96 damages from Chandra with her emblem. The final slot will use the green Overlord. It's fantastic ramp since the token land it generates will tap for any color, and we can play it out with Impending for only 3 mana. It's an excellent size body that can attack and defend well. Another great choice for this final slot would be a sweeper to help eliminate opposing men. We'll definitely be doing some fine-tuning during testing, but for now, that's our deck. Let's go play some games.
Do you want to play a game?
This is Fun K Master. He was almost the Fun Master, but he put a K in there for some reason. We kick things off with a 4-lander that's got a pair of Simulacrums and a Quintorius. Naturally, we can't be waiting until turn 4 to do something. Then we get a 3-lander with an Ugin, Quintorius, a green Overlord, and a Monument. It's almost like our 2 mana cards don't exist. Keep. We'll ship our top end on down. Sorry, Ugin. You should have been cheaper, bro. They play out a Vault, and in combination with their jewel they dropped on the first turn, is a great way to search out and find cards you need. Are they on synthesizer? They activate their vault and toss out a Volatile Fault. They might be heavy on lands, or they don't really need as many since they are also generating treasure tokens with every activation. Bro, it's all your fault. We draw a Chandra, and we'll play out the Monument this turn in preparation for the looting we plan to do. Had we drawn something else, the Overlord would be our play. They too play out a monument, but they will benefit from theirs immediately thanks to the vault. They follow up with an authority, which really doesn't mean a whole lot since we have so few men. We drew a doubling season, and now all we need is to play it out and find an Ugin. This turn we'll bury their monument in the garden. We'll take away their extra card draw, and we'll untap with 5 mana available. We draw another monument, but this turn has to go to the Overlord. They could have taxing counters, so we'll play it carefully. I think it's time we try for our doubling season. With it in play, we can fire off Chandra's ultimate as soon as we get her down. There's the counter we were afraid they'd have, and they have the mana to copy their vault. If that vault had been a synthesizer, we would have been dead already. Where's the robot overlords, bro? Hiding in your pants. They play out a Mondric. All that's missing is a factory outlet. How does someone draw so many cards and not find one? This turn has to go to Chandra. With a Mondric on their side, we need to try to find an Ugin. Maybe we should have kept the one we had in our starting hand. Oopsie poopsie. They've got to think about this one. Pants suddenly feel tighter, bro.
Ready and set, so let's go!
It's a sad day in the universe, but we've got to toss a monument for some draw. If it's painful to watch, it was painful to do.
Trash to triumph!
All right, Quintorius, you marvelous elephant. Get in there. We'll use the discovery ability to hopefully find another buried in the garden.
Let's dig over here.
We get a simulacrum instead, but it'll find us another land, and when it untaps, we'll be able to block. And when it dies, we'll draw another card.
Discoveries are around every corner.
No breaking till the end!
They make Mondric indestructible, but we were never planning on destroying it. They take down our amazing elephant, but we've still got Chandra, and hopefully her ultimate. They play out a Bumbleflower's share pot. I'm starting to think they really are not a version of Synthesizer. Artifact control? That share pot is fine, but it costs 5 mana to activate. Not exactly swift justice when there are faster cards out there. Yes, indeed, they are definitely trying to work artifact control onto the scene. We'll get an extra draw from our robot going to the grave.
Let's shift gears.
We get another Simulacrum from the draw, which is fine. And then we get what we wanted all along. A buried in the garden Rip Mondrick. We could use it to take their share pot, but taking Mondrick is probably the best choice. The opponent has never done this much thinking before in their life. I can hear brain cells sizzling like bacon inside their skull. This game could have been 3 minutes long, but the opponent inflated it to 15. Let's get going here. This isn't rocket science, bro.
Just try to keep up.
They fire off a 3 steps ahead to copy their share pot and draw a pair. Still digging for a Synthesizer probably. If it isn't in their deck, it should be. And we're very glad we took Mondrick. If we hadn't, they'd be getting doubles of their token copy for free. They use a share pot on Chandra, but that's why we have another. Let's play her out, and we'll use her ability to draw.
I'm gonna smoke the competition. No time to think. Just drive.
We get another monument, so we'll use the monument to get another draw. And that gets us another buried in the garden.
The pace.
We passed the turn here, but what we should have done was taken out their token share pot. No jokin', kill the token. They fire off a split up to take out our men, which is fine. We've got more ways of doing them harm. Our Simulacrum draw gets us a treasure map. At least we can scry with it and avoid drawing into more lands. That, my friends, is an esoteric duplicator. Not something we want to see. Well, the monuments will be strong with us. Let's play it out, then we can get extra draws when we plus 2 Chandra.
Let's shift gears.
Come on, Shuffler, combo me. Nope, not what we wanted. Alright, a doubling season is fine. Another treasure map is alright. And a land. We'll get at least one treasure map down now. We'll bury their duplicator in the garden. It just can't be allowed to stay on board.
Push it to the limit!
With only one card in hand, this decision should be easy, but here we are. They go for another copy of the share pot. They sure love that thing. Once again, if it had been a synthesizer, we'd have been dead some time ago. They use their freshly minted pea pot to take out our Chandra. Don't drink the Kool-Aid, bro. We'll use our treasure map at the end of their turn.
Mission burn!
That's Ugin finally. Let's get our second treasure map down, then we can play out the case and pull another land out of our deck. That's one less land we'll have a chance to draw. They play out a snare, but what are they taking? They're looking at a monument, but that's not what they'll go for, I'm sure. They unbury their duplicator. We figured their deck out some time ago. The poop pot is way too slow to be crazy good thanks to its 5 mana activation cost. They smash one of our monuments and had the mana to pay for a token copy of their stink pot. Should wear it as a helmet instead, bro. I forgot to set a hold on our upkeep, but we drew into Quintorius anyways. We'll play out the doubling season to kick off this awesome turn. With it in play, we'll activate our treasure map to get our treasure tokens. We'll get 6 instead of the usual 3 thanks to the season. 'Tis the season, bro. We'll play out our crazy elephant next. All we need is for Dumbo to be on board. There's nothing else that it needs to do. Then we follow up with Ugin, and the doubling season will make sure he enters play with 14 loyalty instead of 7. Let's snipe their snare and get back our buried in the garden. Not a critical move here, but it feels good to snipe their stuff. We'll bury their token crack pot, and that will be the end of those. It's funny that Ugin can fetch himself out with his ultimate. Always grab a second copy and play out to draw a card with if the opponent isn't dead after playing out all these colorless cards.
I grant you a boon. Fate flows as easily as water.
Every card we play from exile is a drain for 2 thanks to Quintorius, and with the payload of cards we have we'll be able to take down their life total. It's GG's, they just haven't caught on yet.
My resources are yours. Mine is the power of eons.
Our answers lie.
I grant you a boon.
Another piece.
Knowledge is a virtue.
Knowledge is power.
Power belongs to the patient.
It finally sinks in, and they scoop at 1 life. Brilliant move, bro, brilliant. This is USST1, no wait, it's a keyboard mash with caps lock on for good measure. We get a shuffler special with a case, a treasure map, double buried in the garden, and a Quintorius. If we don't draw lands, the case can get us a 3rd, and then we can use the map to scry into more. Plus we've already got a 3rd of our combo. Keep your pants on. The opponent plays out a scavenger's talent. It's alright, but it in no way screams game-breaking. We draw another treasure map, so if we don't get lands, we can scry our way to more. They double down on their talents, but they've gotten themselves down to only 4 cards in hand. We get a green Overlord, and it will be saving our bacon. Let's play out the case, and we'll get another forest, that way we can drop the Overlord on our next turn. Maybe should bring more than scavenger talents to a fight, bro. Those aren't doing any damages to us. We draw a doubling season, and now all we need is an Ugin and mana to play out our combo pieces. We get another case and we'll play it out. If not for our card choices, we'd still be stuck on 2 lands. Shout out to the shuffler. Let's put a stop for our upkeep. We can scry at the end of their turn, and before we draw to help find an Ugin. Their first real play is a Disturbing Mirth. It should have been called Disturbing Art instead. Wait a second, did bro sacrifice one of the talents they had leveled up? Oopsie poopsie bro. Three out of the 4 cards they milled away were lands. We could very likely be set on mana, even if we don't draw another land. That's some neat shuffling right there, all to make a pair of small men. As much as I love jumping through hoops to make some things happen, that's a few hoops too many, bro. On top we have another buried in the garden. It's not in Ugin, so we'll send it on down. That's a land on top, we'll keep it. We likely could have functioned without more lands, but having 5 mana available this turn to play out the doubling season seems like a solid move. They flipped their guy. Turning a 1/1 into a 1/1 is such a power move. We probably should concede the game immediately. The mighty snake has arrived. Luckily, it doesn't matter how much stuff they sacrificed. The snake still enters with only 1 counter on it. Maybe should have kept the 3/2 guy. We'll choose the lose 4 life option. We've still got plenty. We draw on Ugin. All we need is time and opportunity, and we can crack this game. Playing out a buried in the garden will give us the mana we need on our next turn. That guy has Mobilize X, where X is the number of men in their grave, which is 2. Scary bro, scary indeed. I might have to put on a fresh set. If we block their Mobilize guy, that's the end of their men. I like it. They level up their talents, but what they should have done was eaten their foods. All of them. We just need enough colorless cards in our deck to knock them out. So far it looks like we should have plenty. They mill away some lands mostly. We'll see if that still leaves us with enough to drop their life down to 0. Let's go ahead and scry. On top we have a monument, but we don't want to draw it. Let's send it on down. It's time to combo off. We'll play out Quintorius first, then follow up with Ugin. Along the way their stuff will disappear. They say GG's immediately. The party had just started, bro. Smell you later. And that, my friends, is another satisfied customer.